A small-town mayor in the Philippines is on the run from authorities. She may be part of a Chinese Communist Party conspiracy far greater than we imagined. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. I have some exciting news. We're at nearly 2 million subscribers, only about 40,000 more to go. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. When we get to 2 million, we'll do a special live stream for you where we'll do something we've never done before. So again, hit that subscribe button. Now, on with the show. Well, folks, it's time for another installment of the Philippines' favorite spy thriller, Dr. Filipino. The story of a small-town mayor in the Philippines who just might be the worst Chinese spy ever. I've done 2 episodes on the unfolding saga, and I highly recommend you check them out. I'll leave links below. It's like a spy movie if the spy was completely inept. So basically get smart, but somehow stupider. Here's the gist of it. Alice Guo is the mayor of the small town of Bamban, about 60 miles north of the capital, Manila. Guo was hauled before a Filipino Senate committee for questioning after Philippines police raided a Philippine offshore gaming operator, or POGO, in her constituency back in March. Did I say in her constituency? I meant right behind her office. The police discovered a number of papers linking Guo to the POGO. Further investigations revealed that she used to own half of the land the POGO is on. POGOs are a major concern for authorities, as they sometimes involve Chinese criminal organizations and potential spying on military bases. There is overwhelming evidence that these crime syndicates also operate at the command of the Chinese Communist Party, which is why Guo's connections to the POGO made people wonder if she was a Chinese spy. Given how Guo's backstory is full of more inconsistencies than the last season of Game of Thrones, that theory became much more plausible. Guo gave some pretty confusing and inconsistent answers at the Senate hearing. In fact, learning the truth on what's going on in this case, or with anything related to China, can be difficult to do. The media is riddled with propaganda and censorship. That's why it's more important than ever to stay informed with a variety of news sources so you can cross-check information and verify its accuracy. And I've been using our longtime sponsor, Ground News, to help simplify this. Ground News is a website and an app that aggregates over 50,000 sources in one place, helping you see the full picture and reveal why information might not be entirely accurate. For example, let's take a look at this recent story about China and the Philippines holding crucial talks to ease tensions after an intense clash in disputed waters. Ground News instantly gives me a summary of the topic and then links to over 30 different articles about it from all across the political spectrum. With each source, you can see whether it leans left, right, or center, and how factual it is, like South China Morning Post, that's owned by Alibaba Group, a Chinese company. And at the top, if you click Bias Comparison, you can see, for example, how the left discusses de-escalation efforts and the right uses more loaded language such as aggressive actions and details specific violent events. Obviously, there's a lot of different perspectives on most issues. Ground News is on a mission to hold the media accountable and provide context so we can see how media narratives can easily shape public opinions. It's a great place to go if you want to be more informed than the average newsreader and find multiple perspectives or stories you might have otherwise missed. And that's why we're working with Ground News to sponsor this video, because we believe what they're doing is important. So sign up at ground.news/China or through my link below to get 40% off the Vantage plan, which is what I use for unlimited access. So, Alice Guo being connected with an offshore gambling operation is just the tip of the iceberg. Remember how I said people are wondering if Guo is a Chinese spy? It turns out Alice Guo's biometrics match that of a Chinese woman named Guo Huaping, proving that Guo might not even legally be a Philippine citizen. And yet somehow she ended up becoming a politician, and apparently a bit of a local celebrity. What an inspirational story. It's like a movie, if that movie was Chinese propaganda. Guo has a lot of answering to do, but there's just one problem. Guo skipped the second Senate hearing on POGOs. In fact, Guo has gone into hiding. So he went from Get Smart to The Fugitive. If you need proof we're living in a simulation, fiction is now less ridiculous than reality. The police are hunting her and 7 others, including several of her family members and the family accountant. They have all been called to appear at the next committee hearing set on July 29th, which is pretty soon. As of this recording, there's no reason to believe that they'll attend this time either. Guo is on the immigration lookout bulletin in case she tries to escape the Philippines, and her assets have been frozen. But guess what? A few days ago, Guo resurfaced on Facebook. Who could have predicted that this woman would resurface on social media? Guo went on Facebook to deny that she was behind an alleged plot to assassinate two senators who are leading the investigation on her possible links to illegal pogos. She also went on to say that she doesn't wish to be a political tool for politicians, asking why they're focusing on arresting her rather than things like national security, poverty, unemployment, and environmental degradation. Am I really the country's biggest problem that they need to focus on? Or is it just because they're gaining popularity at my expense that they will not leave me alone? Funny, I think a potential Chinese spy becoming a mayor is a national security issue. Senator Hontiveros shot back at Guo, saying, "Mayor Alice Guo, or Guo Huaping, you have more time for your Facebook posts than your actual attendance at the Senate. Your social media postings do not equal your Senate hearing attendance." Guo's official Facebook page has since gone down, which is just one more piece in a puzzle that just gets more and more bizarre. But Guo isn't the only link in the illegal pogo chain. Hontiveros said suspected Banban Mayor Alice Guo may be linked to bigger syndicates. So there are bigger fish that might be involved, such as Hongjiang Yang and Hongming Michael Yang, two brothers with a pretty shady past. The Yang brothers played a central role in the Farmally scandal in 2023, when it was discovered that Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte had given a contract to a little-known and underfunded company for personal protective equipment during the COVID-19 pandemic. Personal protective equipment that turned out to be substandard. Michael Yang used to be an economic advisor to President Duterte, and was accused of running meth labs in the early 2000s. Senator Hontiveros linked Hongjiang Yang to Baofu Land Development, Inc., the owner of the land where the Banban Pogo raid took place. Strangely enough, Guo was also a former incorporator in the company. According to Hontiveros, the Anti-Money Laundering Council discovered that Hongjiang Yang had direct translations with Baofu through his joint account with a certain Yu Zhengcan, who was an incorporator of Hongsheng. Hongsheng being the illegal pogo compound that was raided over alleged human trafficking. It's the place where all of this started. Although it later changed its name to Zunyuan. Because that'll throw them off the trail. Sure, we're at the same address and run by all the same people, but we have a different name. We're not the same. Hongjiang is also supposedly an incorporator of the Philippine Full Wind Group of companies, whose president is his brother, Michael, and whose corporate secretary is a man who goes by Gerald Cruz. Cruz is one of the incorporators of Brickhearts, which is a service provider linked to the Pogo Hub in Banban. It was the same Pogo service provider implicated in a separate kidnapping and human trafficking case flagged by Senator Grace Poe in a privileged speech in December 2022. All of that is to say, Hongjiang is part of a massive network that has ties to Pogos. Or, as Hontiveros put it, one big happy farmily. Dang, that's pretty good. If being a senator doesn't work out for her, she should be one of our writers. It's possible that the Pogo probe might find connections between Pogos and former Philippine President Duterte himself, which, since the Pogos have links with Chinese criminals that have links with the CCP, would mean that President Duterte wasn't just friendly with the CCP, he was an accomplice in them spying on American bases in the Philippines. How high up the chain does this go? Again, this proves we're in a simulation because this sounds more like a movie than reality. All that is just speculation at this point, but keep an eye out for more of Dr. Filipino to see just how deep this rabbit hole goes. Now, I have a video I want to show you, but first, be sure to check out this episode's sponsor, Ground News. Ground News is a great tool to help you stay well informed about what's happening in the world and how it's being covered by all sides of the political spectrum. Check it out with this QR code or go to ground.news/China. The link is in the description below. And here's that video I want to show you from my new show, Deep Thoughts While Gaming, where I make short videos hiding conversations about news, politics, and philosophy in gaming content to get around YouTube censors. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.